Hi there. Welcome to week 2. As we only have 6 weeks and the last week is only until Thursday, things are going to get more and more hectic, getting busier and busier by the minute. So we're just gonna get started on week 2. Click on week 1 module right down here, or go to modules to begin. I have made week 2 available to you. You should be able to see week 2 now. We have a lot of items under week 2. Most of them are quizzes, but we need to start with week 2 required readings so that you can get access to materials here. I don't have PDFs for chapter 2, 3, 6, but there's a link to chapter 1. You should already have the book by now. If not, you're really behind. I suppose that's the best way that I could put it. All of these bullets accompany a quiz each. And once you're ready, just go to the quiz. So we have Chapter 1 quiz, 10 points. Chapter 2, 10 points. Chapter 3, 10 points. Chapter 6, 10 points. A quiz on the lesson. A quiz on a rose family. And both of these stories are available online as well as in your book. So the lesson is our short story we focus on for the essay, the fiction essay. Okay, so once you're done with the quizzes, and the quizzes are due on Friday, but I've made them available until Sunday, I believe. So in theory, you should be able to still do the quizzes for late credit by Sunday, okay? But the due date is Friday. So the discussions forum for week 2 is worth 50 points as well. These are the tasks. Okay, so let me go through them one by one. Plot and theme, there's a PDF attached to the task, okay, which reviews the chapters that I've assigned on plot and theme. Okay, it's got key terms. Sorry. Do you have a question or?
No, sorry.
Okay. No worries. I'm gonna mute everyone to minimize background noise if that's okay. And then just in mute when you have comments or question. Protagonist, antagonist, all these terms are inside the chapters, and there's this story map. Okay, this picture is the front take of the toy store mentioned in the lesson, the short story lesson. Ignore this slide. I haven't taken it out yet. Why literature is important, and now we get to the story. So very interesting story. Need to read it twice, okay, because we're writing our fiction essay on it. And so for the task, I'd like you to do all these items listed, okay? This task here is on the hero's journey, and this is the full version. It's really long. You don't have to watch it. You can watch the shorter version, but I thought I made the full version available to you anyways, just in case you want to learn more about it. And other videos here, all on fiction and short stories. Okay, so that's the unit that we're on right now. It's the fiction unit. So for the task, after you watch those videos, just reflect on them by writing 3 to 5 sentences responding to the questions stated there. This task is on the short story discussed in it. So I have a series of discussion questions below. What you do is you choose one of them and write out, after you read the short story, write your response to one of these posted. And then hopefully when you read your classmates' response to their question, you can chime in and carry an online forum discussion here on the short story, so that you can further your understanding and appreciation of that short story. This task is on point of view and characters. Okay, so there's another PDF attached to this task. So go ahead and review the PDF here in addition to reading the chapters. Point of view. Again, this document contains important terms that in reality you need to be able to apply to when you write your fiction essay. So then you will, instead of writing main character, you would say protagonist. Instead of saying the bad guy in the story, you would say antagonist. And when you discuss point of view, you can say the lesson is written in third person point of view, things like that. So this task again has a few items for you to look at, 3 actually to be exact. Discuss the point of view in the lesson and the Rose family. So then you would need to read those 2 short stories first before you can respond to that question. How effective is the point of view used in each short story? Identifying a round character, flat character. So this picture shows you what those terms mean. Okay, so next is a discussion on a Rose family. Again, just select one of these bullets and write a 1 paragraph response to the question, to the bullet. And then you don't forget to reply to 2 or more classmates. Next is an FYI on literary devices. The main reason I make this separate is one of our learning outcomes is your ability to recognize and analyze literary devices. So first you need to be able to identify the most common ones like metaphor and simile and personification and hyperbole, all those wonderful literary devices that make work literary in the first place. So I've got a few resources available to you here. With the internet and Google, you can just type in literary devices and you just find tons and tons search results on them. And there are games to play if you are having problems understanding them. There are videos to watch and even worksheets to do to learn the basics about literary devices, okay? So this is just an FYI and specialized FYI, just to let you know that you need to be clear on literary devices, like completely clear about them. Okay, so the fiction essay instructions can be found here with the due date. At the end of this week on Sunday, you need to submit your pre-write and your outline. And this handout will guide you to write, to do your pre-write on the lesson. Okay, so I skipped a step. You need to read this carefully first before you can do the pre-write and the outline. This is the task description for the fiction essay. And you are given 3 choices. Okay, you can choose 1, 2, or 3. Okay, it's up to you. The first two choices focus on the lesson, as you can see here. So the prompt is in bold, okay? Bolded. Examine the themes within this short story and explain how these themes are still relevant to our lives today. Okay, so you need to know what a theme is and is not, right? And some of the themes are presented in the lesson, and the theme is almost your interpretation of the major takeaway from the short story. Okay? The major lessons that you learn from this short story called the lesson. What are some of the themes that this short story communicate to the rest of us, and how are the themes still relevant? Okay? And then this one is number two. The second choice focuses on characters. How are they important to the plot? Who are they? Why do we care about these characters? What do they symbolize, represent? What do they review about our society nowadays? Number three, option three, write a one-page short story. You need to, if you choose number three, you need to include this short story with your pre-writing and outlining materials. Okay, so it could be any complete short story with the beginning, middle, and end. Okay, following the story map. Story map, what's that? This one. Okay, this is the story map. Your short story needs to have or needs to reflect in one way or another this story map. Okay. If you choose that option, you also need to include a 3 to 4 page analysis of the themes within your work, within your short story. Explain the themes and how they are relevant still to this day. The requirement for research, and don't neglect this, you need to do you need to include one additional research source. It could be any credible website, it could be any popular media resources, it could be a scholarly source. Okay. So a Google search works, but then you need to be able to format it using MLA style. And if you don't know how to do MLA works cited page, you need to let me know, okay, so that I can show you. But I assume that students coming into 1B already took 1A, and in 1A we learn about MLA. If you didn't get to learn MLA really well in 1A, it's fine. I just need to be alerted so that I could explain and point you towards the right resources for you to use. When I grade the final draft of the fiction essay, there will be a rubric, and on the rubric there will be categories, and I'll explain this again next week. There will be categories that whether or not you follow instructions, that whether or not you've used MLA correctly, and that you've included your one source, required one source. Okay. I'm not asking you to include a lot of research materials, but at least one is needed. It could be a literary criticism on this. It could just simply be a news article on related to one of the themes that you find in the short story. So it's wide open in terms of research source there. Okay, the due dates are listed here, and this is where you can find the PDFs, the instructions, and then the pre-write and outline template. So let me talk to you more about the pre-write and the outline template. So when you do the pre-write, you can, type out your pre-writing, you can do your clustering, you can do brainstorming, which is making a grocery list, kind of like that. Or you can do question answer, up to you. So that's how you pre-write. You pre-write so that you can answer, you can choose and answer the prompt. Okay. So if you're not sure, for example, if you're not sure which option you're gonna focus on, use pre-write to help you out to figure it out. So maybe you can do free writing when you write for nonstop, for about 10 minutes or so, just to draw out what's on your mind and put down some of your thoughts so that you can pinpoint which option sounds like it's the best option for you after you have done all the readings, that is. Okay? So that's pre-writing. Then when you're ready, create a hook and then summarize the short story and information about Tony K. Bambara, the author of the lesson, and then put your thesis at the end of your introductory paragraph. Your thesis is your direct answer to the prompt. Okay? If you can compose one sentence long, a response to the prompt, that would be your thesis. Then you go to the body paragraphs and you create pie, right? Point of the paragraph, why a reason why your thesis is valid. I for illustration, the main point, quotation, personal examples, and then E is explanation or relevance of the point and the illustration. So you repeat the same pattern again for each body paragraph, and then you can have as many body paragraphs as you can. Keeping in mind that the page requirement is 4 to 5 pages long, double-spaced, 12-point font. And then you go to the conclusion where you restate the thesis, and then you write the so what. So you create this outline first before you draft your essay, okay? So these two material, both the pre-writing and the outlining materials are due this Sunday. The final draft will be due next Sunday. Once you're ready, click next on the module for week 2, and this is where you submit your pre-write and outline. Okay? You can create a Google Doc for your pre-write and outline, or you can print this template out and handwrite on it. And you can just take a series of pictures and put them in a Google Doc and then submit that Google Doc. And in the past, I had students who did that, and that's fine. And then you can submit that Google Doc with your series of pictures, or you can create your own Google Doc and just type in your pre-write and your outline. Here is important because I want to reinforce the late penalty and the overdue penalty, starting with this week. Last week, I have waived late submission. So if you submit something late last week, it's fine. I won't take away points. Except for the discussions forum, that's a little bit different. On the discussions forum for week 1, many people did not complete all the tasks stated, and they didn't respond to their classmates. So I had to take away points for those. But in terms of the submission, I will start taking out 10% if it's late, or 50% if it's overdue. That's it for week 2. Excuse me. Just to sum up, start with the required readings pages so that you can locate some of the PDFs to read and do the quizzes. All the quizzes, you have 3 chances, 3 attempts. The highest score will be kept, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quizzes equals to 60 points in the participation category. So that's 60 points up for grab. And I think the quizzes by now should become, you should realize that the quizzes are easy targets and the easy points to get. Okay? They are important because they review the chapters and you get to interact. So that tends to increase retention, your memory retention. So do the quizzes, don't skip them. Then you go to this discussions forum, you answer all the tasks given, you review the literary devices, and then you read the fiction essay instructions, and you submit your pre-written outline for week 2. That's all I have. Very numerous, but it could be done. Junk your assignments. The quizzes are due Friday, the discussions and the pre-write outline materials for the fiction essay are due on Sunday. What questions do you have or comments? No question? Then go ahead.
Yeah, as we do for the discussions, it's okay if we just go in and complete one part of the discussion and then just keep editing and adding
Yes.
The different
Correct.
parts.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
And
I don't have to do everything together and then post it, right?
Yeah, no, you don't have to do that. In fact, I don't recommend that because it's overwhelming. So do a few, maybe 1 or 2 at a time, and then come back to it and do a few more.
Okay.
So maybe this one today, and then maybe this one tomorrow, things like that. That's fine.
Okay.
Great question. Other questions? Samuel, Vanessa.
And then for the tests or the quizzes, you say they're until Friday. After that, they'll be closed, right? Or we won't be able to complete them?
I believe I still make them available to Sunday for now, and then starting with week 3, then they'll close on Friday.
Okay.
So was there a quiz from last week that you missed?
No, there wasn't. I was just wondering.
Yes,
I
so
completed them by the 22nd.
yeah, ultimately try to meet the Friday. The quizzes are quite easy to get anyways. So I
Yeah.
read them first. But yeah, I typically set the quizzes on Friday for a simple reason that I want people to be done with the reading in advance before they hit the other major assignments. And
Understood.
yeah, if people don't do the quizzes, they don't do the readings in advance before they hit the essays, chances are they'll write the wrong essay and
Okay.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay. Thank you for your questions. Other questions? I've graded everything that I received. I have not entered in any zeros for now, but next week I will. I realize that 0 can be mentally crippling for some people, so I try not to go there yet. So I want to give people the opportunity to submit late work. That's fine. You just need to submit your work for week 1. There's no penalty for week 1 until next week. So this week you can still submit your assignments for week 1 without any penalty, but starting this week, so I will grade week 2 next week. So I'm a week behind, right, with the grading, because I have to wait till Sunday for everybody to submit their work before I grade it. So if for week 2 and then you're late, and I need to reinforce that 10% late penalty. Theoretically speaking, you can still submit your late work up until the end of the semester, but that would be considered overdue, and so the maximum grade you get is 50%. Okay, so be alert to that and sensitive to timing and deadlines and whatnot. I do give extensions if they are sent to me in advance. Like, it's fine to ask for extensions so that I don't have to give you the penalty. But please try to do that, like maybe at least a day in advance and not on Sunday at 6 p.m. Okay, I appreciate that. Other than that, do you have any other question on the class as a whole, on the final exam thing?
No, I do have something kind of personal, but I will be going on vacation on a cruise, so still trying to figure out the Wi-Fi situation.
I
So,
understand. You don't have to meet me on Zoom.
mhm,
I mean, even though I say it's required, but I understand it's the summertime. People travel, and I travel as
yeah,
well. So if you cannot make a Zoom meeting during a certain week, or week 3, week 4, week 5, whatever it is, you can be online, and that's fine. I don't grade you on attendance as long as you get your work done.
okay,
Listed under the modules.
yeah. I don't think I'll fall into maybe week. I think it's week 4, I believe.
Okay, be careful with that because that's the end of the semester. So that's when the drama critique assignment is due. So if you have that assignment done now,
Mhm.
ready to be submitted, then you're good.
No, I'm
Because
trying to get that done as far as this week. So, trying to
great.
get ahead as much as I can prior to my vacation.
Yeah, and then the research paper as well.
Yeah.
That's a great reminder to work on those 2 assignments that I've already
Yep.
front loaded to you. The drama critique and the research essay. Those are important. So for the research essay, let me clarify. You can focus on the lesson for and extend your fiction essay to make it into your research essay too. Okay, so if that's something that you want to do, you could do that to cut down the workload for you. Except that you need to meet all the requirements listed under the research essay task description. Okay. So you just need to incorporate more research into the lesson and then write a 6-page paper for your research paper. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So,
that makes sense.
you can also do something on the Rose family if you want to, um, but get a head start on the research essay. That will help save you time if you're traveling. Otherwise, just show up every week and do your assignments per week. Yeah, I realized that week 6, it's gonna be crazy because the end of the semester for us is the 26th. So even though we say that we have week 6, it's really only until Thursday, the 26th.
Yeah, I'll be out from the 9th to about the 17th.
Okay,
Like I
yeah,
said, more like the 10th to the 17th. I'll be traveling, but
nice.
I think, like I said, I'll try the next 2 weeks to try and get ahead as far as I can with some of the requirements to make it a lot easier for me.
Yeah. If you and the rest have the objections, I can always put up a week in advance all the modules. So I could have week 3 become available to you this Friday, and then week 4 will be available next week. So it's just like 1 week in advance. It is too, the reason why I don't open them up all at once is, of course, they become overwhelming to you, and you're gonna
Yeah,
quit.
no, I understand.
Right, but if you and the many other classmates want that, I could also do that for you if you're traveling and whatnot. So, well, thanks for letting me know. Does Natalie and Vanessa have any question for me or comments or complaints? Or if not, we're gonna end the meeting, and then I'll be back on Zoom tomorrow at 6 p.m. And on Wednesday, though, I will not be able to host our Zoom meeting because I'll be on the plane going back. So I'm hosting this meeting in Virginia. So I understand perfectly your scenario, Samuel. So, but anyways, there won't be a meeting on Wednesday, is what I'm saying. Okay. So talk to you later, and good luck with your assignments. Bye.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye bye.